Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Joe Hindy, the Android Authority app guy. With an ecosystem as large as Android's, it's inevitable that some developers are going to screw up royal. With that in mind, let's take a look at the most controversial apps and games of 2015. Android Pay was announced to heavy fanfare at Google I/O. The premise was easy enough to understand. It was to be a revamped and improved tap-to-pay system that rivaled Apple Pay and could be used throughout the Android ecosystem by applications, games, and even online retailers. The rollout of the service has left a little bit to be desired. For starters, the new Android Pay doesn't work on rooted devices for security reasons. This is in stark contrast to Google Wallet, which worked on rooted and non-rooted devices alike and irked the root community so badly that Google employees actually took to the XDA forums to explain what happened. To follow it up, Google Wallet was then gutted and turned into a PayPal clone, with its biggest feature being able to send and receive money from friends and manage your account, which were features it actually already had. In classic Google fashion, the applications do work together but feel disjointed as a whole. Everyone has calmed down about it now, but you can still find remnants of a start that wasn't pretty and people who still aren't happy about the whole thing. The developers of Monument Valley may have won the most controversial tweet from a mobile game developer in 2015 when they tweeted that 5% of their Android installs were paid for and 95% were not. Despite us2 not saying one damn word about piracy, this sparked quite the commotion and began one of the most in-depth discussions about mobile piracy to date. Not only was the problem unleashed upon the masses in a way it had never been done before, but it also encouraged other developers to post about their numbers and show that piracy really is a problem on mobile. Unfortunately, instead of it being a positive thing, people threw a proverbial temper tantrum as pirates across the internet took to the message boards to defend themselves. They used every internet troll trick in the book, from calling us2 flat-out liars to taking the numbers out of context to create fallacious arguments. The backfire was so bad that us2 did an interview with Recode to try to calm everybody down. The meltdown did eventually blow over, and of course nothing good came of it. Almost hilariously, Modern Combat 5 Blackout went freemium just 2 months later, and people simply couldn't understand why. Apple had every chance in the world to make a good impression on Android users with their first Android app. The whispers that they would be joining the Google Play Store had been around for a year or longer, so it was really never a question of if, but rather a question of when. Maybe iTunes for Android, or perhaps Apple Music. Nope, Apple's first Android app was to help Android users leave Android. To start with, the application actually does quite well. It transfers all of your stuff to Apple services, so you can just sign in to your next iPhone and be ready to go. Of course, this was taken as a huge offense to the Android fanboys and girls who immediately took to the applications page on Google Play to unleash probably the heaviest stream of 1-star ratings I've seen since Facebook Home. This created yet another divide in the Android user space between people who relentlessly trolled Apple and those who found that sort of behavior rather childish. The vitriol even sparked a parody application called Stick with Android that has received 10,000 5-star ratings and has a 4.8 Google Play rating in the Play Store right now. The move to iOS thing has all but subsided, but the impact can still be seen with every Apple release, as they now get a slew of 1-star ratings just because it was released by Apple. Pushbullet became the latest victim of actually trying to make money off of their platform, and it seems like they went about it the wrong way. The popular platform is considered the de facto solution for transferring files between computers and mobile phones, and the extra features such as texting from PC, universal copy and paste, and others made it a fan favorite. That is, of course, until they started charging $50 a year for it. What made Pushbullet so interesting was that it did nothing wrong. It's still a great application with great features and great stability. The problem seems to be centered around how they went about transitioning into a paid application. Users have lamented the allegedly exorbitant cost of Pushbullet Pro and how the free version was gutted to make the premium version look better, which some people felt was insulting. The pushback was so intense that the Pushbullet team took to Reddit to do an AMA, which seems to have calmed the public down quite a bit. As of now, the price remains $5 per month or $50 a year, and the competition has been trying to take advantage of that. Telegram is actually a really good messaging service that focuses on encryption, security, and privacy. Now, if they could only do something about all of those terrorists that keep wanting to use their service. Yes, it's true, Telegram received a lot of press this year after it was reported that ISIS encouraged members to use the application in order to talk privately about their various ISIS activities so that governments couldn't track them. The application's developers caught a little extra flack after some footage from TechCrunch Disrupt was dug up that showed the developers knew that ISIS was using their app. Since then, they've tried to make things right by shutting down dozens of ISIS channels, but they seem to keep coming back. This whole development came about after the attacks from Paris, so it was fairly recent, but so far Telegram has seemed to rebound nicely after it cleaned up a bit. Our loyal readers may remember Yik Yak from its inclusion in our most controversial apps of 2014. Yes, it's here again, and believe it or not, it managed to top its performance from last year. It started with that huge thing at Missouri University that I'm sure most of you have heard about. You may have heard about 2 students who were arrested for issuing death threats to black people, correct? Yeah, well, they did that on Yik Yak. That wasn't the only racism that found its way into this application. Princeton University has had problems with it all year, while a Colorado Springs student was suspended after racist comments concerning black women. There has been more than one movement to ban the service from college campuses, but they have all been highly unsuccessful. So far, about all the app developers have done is place geofences around middle and high school areas to prevent kids from using it. In October of 2015, Google removed the application from its top charts. We won't know how effective that will be in the long term, but don't be surprised if this app is right back here again next year. Once again, I'm Joe Hindy, the Android Authority app guy. If you want to check out any of these apps or games, if they're still available in the Play Store, we'll have those linked up for you in the video description below. Also, don't forget to check out these awesome videos we have linked up right over there, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want to read the written version, we'll have that linked up for you in the video description below. As always, thanks for watching, everybody, and have a wonderful day.